Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for our devotional. Today we're in Acts chapter 19. I'm going to be reading verses 23 through 27. Here's what it says. About that time there arose no little disturbance concerning the way, for a man named Demetrius, a silversmith, who made silver shrines of Artemis, brought no little business to the craftsmen. These he gathered together with the workmen in similar trades and said, Men, you know that how from this business we have our wealth, and you see and hear that not only in Ephesus, but in almost all of Asia, this Paul has persuaded and turned away a great many people, saying, their gods made with hands are not gods. And there is danger that not only this trade of ours may come into disrepute, but also that the temple of the great goddess Artemis may be counted as nothing, and that she may even be disposed from her magnificence, she whom all Asia and the world worship. Now, as I mentioned in a previous devotional this week, the temple of Artemis was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. But within the temple stood a giant statue of Artemis. If you're watching the video today, you'll be able to see what this looked like. Most of the time, she looked like this. She was portrayed as a young, attractive virgin wearing a short tunic with a deer at her side. In Ephesus, however, she was portrayed as a more mature woman, and her top was draped down to her waist, exposing her chest. And in the picture, you'll be able to see how this looks. As the goddess of fertility, she is revealing all of her fertility. And it appears from the text, some made a living on selling popular souvenir type versions of the statue. Demetrius was one. He made small silver replicas of Artemis, and because Paul preached a gospel of a god not made by hands, this was adversely affecting his business. And thus you see that Demetrius mounts a movement against Paul because he doesn't want him messing with his business or anyone else's. Now, this is a tension for those who follow Christ, because being a follower impacts how we choose to spend our time and our money. Sometimes it means we stop spending time and money on certain things. And this has power because it will positively impact us, but it may adversely affect others. And they may not like this because it impacts them. I think this is why some believers hesitate to do godly things. They have friendships they don't know how to end, or partnerships they don't know how to leave, or practices they don't know how to give up. They know the potential effect of their godly decisions and concern themselves with the adverse impact. But you'll notice that along Paul's journey, he doesn't hesitate. He never hesitated to share a gospel and invite people into a life of followership, one that in many ways rejects cultural practices and opposes ungodly businesses and creates division in Jewish synagogues. And I believe that he does this because he's worried less about the adverse impact and more about the need to call men to Christ. So, as you evaluate today what you need to do as a follower of Christ, I want you to worry a little less about the loss and the adverse impact of your godly decisions. Instead, keep your eyes fixed on the eternal rewards and live, and act godly. And then do this. Leave the rest up to God. He may end up using your godly action or adverse impact to compel even more to believe. Thanks for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and then I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.